straight to the emergency room. Laceration on the forehead from hairline to the eyebrow. It looked like somebody cut me with a knife. And I had to hold my own arm. Felt so weird. It was like not my arm. I asked the doctor, I was like, oh, how bad is it? And they're like, everything you can mess up in an elbow, you have messed up. Cartilage, bone, ligament, tendon, muscles. It's all messed up in there. At that time, it was very traumatizing.
Sure.
So I'm going to make this as short as I can. I'm performing in Reno. I was on that stage for 4 years, and I performed about 4,500 acts. So, it's like I was in circus. So you do an act, 45 minutes, you do another act, 45 minutes. Half and half. So rollerball, I was 2,000 something acts. And at one point, I started to get cocky. And I was like, I've been mounting the 8-stack without touching the pole for weeks now. I don't even remember last time I needed it. I'm going to take it off. And, most rollerball guys do high stacks without poles anyway. So I just felt like I need to be like them. And, I told my assistants at the time, like, we're going to take it off next show. I can do it. And I went up, and I think I missed that first one, but in a non-scary way. So I was like, give me everything back. I rebuilt it, and I did it. Go up, balance, come down. No problem. Next show, better. And then I just did it. I think I did it for almost a month. So like 2 months.
Yeah.
I did somewhere around 70 performances without an issue.
Yeah, and for context, you're doing an 8-stack on top of a table that's...
Yes, I'm on a 5-foot table. The stack is about 5 foot. I'm 5'6", so it's like tripling my height, like 15 feet.
You're basically standing on top of a ladder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of which I think I have control over.
Yeah, a ladder that...
yeah. And so there's this show. It feels so weird because another artist asked me to switch our show times. So I was kind of like subbing for him.
Sure.
So I felt weird after because I was like, I wasn't supposed to be there doing that at that moment. So we switched show times. I'm doing my whole act. It's packed, full of, the parents always put the kids in the front so they can watch. It's a very small stage. And I'm about to mount my 8-stack. There's a moment where I have to be in the zone and I have to find the point before I commit.
Right.
And as I'm about to do that, there's a little kid that get on the ramp that's in front of the stage and starts to walk on stage.
Right.
So I'm like, whoa, that's not supposed to be here. And I look at the stagehand and he runs to get the kid. As all of this is happening, now I'm distracted in my brain.
Right.
And I go to mount again. And I now know that I changed my body position by this much.
Right.
Without noticing. So as soon as I mount, I'm falling back.
Oh no.
And in rollerball, it's pretty easy. If you fall back, you just kick the cylinders, they fly forwards, you land on the table, you're good. But the kids were where the wall is. For references, that's 6 feet, 7 feet.
Yeah.
And I'm 15 feet high. If you do the math, it will literally land on their head.
Smash the kid, yeah.
I will smash all the kids, not just one, there were many. So I'm up there and I'm like, crap, I can't ditch. And I struggled to hold it for what felt like an eternity was probably a second and a half.
Yeah.
And then I decided to do this with my body. So I kicked the cylinders backwards.
Yeah.
And when I did that, my body just flipped forwards and I start to fall to the right a little bit. So I completely missed the table. And so basically this is my head. I just do this to the floor. I put my arm out first. It hits the ground, breaks and dislocates. And then my forehead hits the ground second. And then the rest of my body goes boom. And I was conscious the whole time. I just heard boom. And then my ears ringing like in the movies when someone throws a grenade. And then everything is in slow motion. And I hear Jonathan. And when I turn, I see my arm. I'm on the floor, by the way. I see my arm folded the other way. So my family then followed the protocol because I had talked about it. I was like, if I wipe out on stage and I'm conscious or unconscious, pick me up and drag me off stage. I don't want to become an act in itself with everybody recording me, bleeding myself on stage or worse. I was like, just take me out. So then they run to me, they pick me up, and they take me out. The audience was dead silent. So yeah, straight to the emergency room. Laceration on the forehead from hairline to the eyebrow. It looked like somebody cut me with a knife. And I had to hold my own arm. That felt so weird. It was like not my arm. And yeah, I was out for 3 months. I was on a brace. I asked the doctor, I was like, oh, how bad is it? And they're like, everything you can mess up in an elbow, you have messed up. Cartilage, bone, ligament, tendon, muscles. It's all like messed up in there. But like, you'll recover from this. Don't worry. At least you know who you are. You hit your head from 15 feet high.
Yeah.
And you're talking to me. He was like, forget about your arm. We can fix that. We can't fix your brain. I was like, well, it was that serious. He was like, you're a lucky guy.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Were you concussed?
Maybe. They didn't really check my brain much. Apparently I was okay. So yeah, I went home that day. It's so weird. I was just laying in bed. I was like, what a day. Finding yourself in bed with a thing on your arm and you were fine earlier and now you're severely injured. And I was like, well, I'm going to be out of the stage for a while. So when and this was in between a TV show, by the way. I did a TV show the week before. I passed to the next round. I wiped out, injured myself. And then the TV show's like, so here are the dates for your next performance. And I was like typing, like reading with my left hand. I'm like, send them a picture. I'm like, we have a problem. And I'm like, what is the latest I can do that second round? And they're like, it will be in about a month and a week from now. And I was like, great, I think I can make it. And honestly, the timing of that really helped because I had something to look forward to.
Yeah.
So long story short, I didn't listen to the doctors very much. Yes and no. You have to choose when to and when not to.
Right.
This is not a medical advice, but it worked for me. Can't sit and rest forever. I have to move at some point. So whenever I didn't feel as much pain, I started to, move my arm a little bit. And yeah, I put an act together that included my brace. I had one of those braces that you see on their legs, but I had the one on my arm with the locking mechanism. Mm-hmm. So I had one of those. So I put LEDs in it. And I think I did like a robot or Terminator act, something stupid like that. And yeah, I kind of like practiced the last week before going to that show. I put something together. Luckily, a TV show act is like 3 minutes or 2 minutes. Yeah. So I just did a couple of tricks, and then I did the 8 stack for the first time again on that show with the safety pole back in. Yeah, that was so much PTSD. Yeah, it's crazy. I had to fight PTSD more than balance itself. But
yeah, I imagine that deadline in a lot of ways. There's less time to process that, and it's just like, well, this is happening. Can you talk more about just like that week of rehearsal and just getting back on stage, like what you had to go through? I know a lot of people within the Acro community have had bad falls and things like that, and it's tough. It ends careers, it changes people's relationship with risks and tricks, and to the extent you're comfortable with it, I'd really be interested to hear what you went through there.
I liked what you said. It definitely changed my relationship with risk. Yeah, 100%. It humbled me like that. And I guess it happens with everyone. You think you're invincible, and then you realize you're not, and that you're very fragile. Yeah, and you're human and you can make mistakes. But yeah, having that deadline really helped me. I was more motivated, and I just said, you know what, this doesn't have to stop me. I'm gonna need to relearn this act because again, I was fearful of standing on my table.
Right.
I went up there and I was like, ooh, I already have anxiety and I'm not even balancing on anything.
Yeah.
So I decided to take all the risky bits out of my act. For those that have seen it, for example, the jump on the skateboards, that's a moment of high risk. It's very short, but very high risk. If I land it wrong, the wipeout is really bad. So all the little things that were actually risky, I took those out of the act to make it easier and more feasible under the current conditions. And I just trained on the floor a little bit. I came up with what I wanted to do on the table. And I just went up there and did it. I kind of I used the brute force method of, no, you're doing this. You have no other option. You don't have a degree on anything. So this is your career and you're not going to let this accident stop you. So I tried to tell myself that. And because I told the TV show I was doing it, I had an outside factor, like an outside pressure that wasn't just me. It was like, no, they already bought me the ticket. So this kind of has to happen in some way. So it's mostly just staying positive and motivated and not letting it, stop me.